you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by Kay Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, G-Dub from Austin, Texas, and Murray E. Baskerville from Sheriff May. I know you're gonna dig this. Well, for the second to one, and now they got the man trapped in third and taken out. And second and two, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, wobbles, and he's off to the races. Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? It's Monday, November the 11th. What's going on with the Facebook page? Check the internet. Oh my goodness. That might help. All right, let's try this. Well, we have a little technical difficulties here with the Facebook page. It won't let me go live for some reason. Nothing on here. Oh, see, they always got something going on with something. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. On the air, calling in. From Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore. We got my boy Murray on the line. Mo, Gotta Be More Careful. Mo, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, Mo, can you hear me? Mo?
I can now.
Okay, great. I'm having some problems with the live. It won't go. This live won't go. It won't go live for some reason or another. Facebook is just tripping. They really tripping today, right now. They're definitely tripping. Let me try another page here. I hear that wind blowing somewhere. I don't know where you're at right now, but I know one thing. It got cold in Pennsylvania. Like,
Oh, it got cold here.
real fast cold.
40 degrees here in Maryland.
Oh my goodness. So you know it ain't too nice up here. Alright, so I don't know what's going on with the Facebook page thing. It ain't allowing me to go live on here. I have no idea what's going on, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and try to get this thing started. Just check something real quick, guys. Okay, so we are live on the one Facebook page, so we just gotta see if anybody comment on there or not. First off, I want to give our condolences to the Wilkins family. Lenny Wilkins, basketball great player, better human being. passed away of the age of 88. If you don't know who Lenny Wilkens is, then you don't know nothing about basketball. I'm gonna say that much. Cause that was one bad dude. He played for the Super Sonics, became coach, um, a real long stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers as a head coach. This was a great person, man. If you ever sit down and heard somebody talk about him, the only thing they had nothing but good things to say about him. But at 80, he passed away at 88 years old. So we want to, send a blessing out to, a prayer out to the family. Let the family know that, we're praying for him, and we want to thank the family for allowing to share your father, your uncle, your brother, your husband with us for so many years of his life that that you didn't have to do that, but they allowed us to do that with him. So again, I want to give condolences out to the family. Um, I don't know if Dana's coming on tonight either, but let's keep Dana's father in prayer as well. Um, he hasn't said how he's doing, but no news is good news in my opinion. So hopefully everything's working out on his end. I cannot get the Facebook page to go live for some reason. I don't know what's going on here. They are really tripping today. They're really tripping. Um, it's a good thing I don't pay for this because I'll be pissed. So what we did today, ladies and gentlemen, is we came in with everybody came in with a topic, okay, and my topic is going to be about betting on baseball. Man,
Oh
look,
boy.
and they didn't got basketball, they didn't got baseball. Football ain't too far away. It's not too far away for what's going to happen in the world of football. So this is what's going on.
I
Cleveland Guardians pitcher Emmanuel Class and Luis Ortiz were charged with fraud, conspiracy, bribery stemming from allegedly scheme to rig individual pitches that led to gambling winning hundreds of thousands of dollars, according to indicated unsealed by federal prosecutors Sunday. Ortez was arrested Sunday morning in Boston, will appear in court Monday, according to prosecutors. In Class is not in custody. He must be on the run. Prosecutors at the Eastern District of New York, the Brooklyn-based United States Attorney Office, had levied similar charges against NBA player Terry Rozier and multi-coaches in the late October that indicated that the class ranged from bettors as early as May of 2023 to throw specific pitches for balls so the gamblers could place prop bets and profit. Ortez, prosecutors said, joined the scheme in June of 2025. Between the two, gamblers won at least $450,000, wavering on their pitches, while Clash and Ortiz were given kickbacks for this participation. Prosecutors said each pitcher could face up to 20 years in prison for wire fraud conspiracy, 20 years of honest service, 20 years for unhonest serving wire fraud conspiracy, 20 years for money laundering conspiracy, and 5 years for conspiracy influencing sports events by bribery. Class, a three-time All-Star and two-time reliever of the year, and Ortiz was placed on non-disciplinary pay leave Major League Baseball in July after betting integrity firms flagged irregular waving on the pair of pitches thrown by Ortiz in June. In a statement, ESPN Major League Baseball said MLB conducted federal law enforcement at the outset of this investigation and fully cooperated throughout the process. We are aware of the indictments and today's arrest. Our investigations is ongoing. Illegalized gambling suspended unlegalized gambling upended the sports world through the allegations against Clash and Ortiz are the least severe of the sports since Pete Rose agreed to a lifetime ban from betting on baseball in 1989. MLB rules against gambling on the sport for strict and class sports are strict, and Clash and Ortez could face lifetime bans similar to one delivery last year to San Diego Padres infielder to Cupatia Marcano. who had placed nearly 400 bets on baseball. The defendant deprived the Cleveland Guardians and the Major League Baseball of their honest service. Josh Narcilia Jr., the U.S. Attorney of the Eastern District, said in a statement. They defrauded the online betting platform where the bets was placed, and they betrayed America's pastime. Integrity, honesty, and fair play are part of the DNA of professional sports. When corruption infiltrates the sport, it brings disgrace not only to the participants but damages the public trust and institutions that vital and dear to all. Messages left ESPN from both players, attorneys seeking comments not been returned. In a statement, the Guardian said, "We are aware of the recent law enforcement action. We will continue to fully cooperate with both law enforcement and Major League Baseball investigations continue." Guys, Rich, you wasn't around, and I think Mo was around, but I think Dana definitely was around um, when they started talking about betting on sports. I said, this is going to turn into a nightmare. Just give it time. Just give, just give it time. I said, just give it time. It's going to turn into a nightmare. And the nightmare has came, and it is killing baseball right now. It's really killing it, man. They need. I don't know what else to say about this because these guys are playing the game of baseball and they rigged it. And the money they got back, I don't. I'm confused. This is the whole thing. That I need somebody to help me understand this. I got three intelligent young men on the air with me. I believe four now. I got Lou out there, and I got Curry out there. I got Mo out there, and I got Rich on the chat with me. I mean, in live with me. Can somebody please explain to me what is going on here? You making millions and millions of dollars, but you want to bet, and the only thing you getting back is 100,000. I think they made what $450,000. That's the part of participating in this. Yeah. Somebody need to tell me. They never say anything about them having a betting habit. They never said anything about the lifestyle they live, or did they live past the lifestyles, or whatever. Nobody's talking about that part of it, and that's the part that I think we as fans and as people that deal with sports, we want to know about this. We want to know what makes these guys tick like this. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna come up and tell you why we did what we did. We know Roger. We know what happened with Rozier. He was in debt, right? Phillips, we still don't know the whole just about him. Now we got baseball involved. And that this is the thing. They banded Pete Rose for betting on his team to win. He got a life ban. He finally got back in. Put him in the Hall of Fame. But these dudes was like, okay, we're gonna throw a ball in this pitch right here. We're gonna throw a pitch. We're gonna throw a ball here. We're gonna throw a strike here. Bet on this. So it's down to the detail. People betting on the pitch that they throw, right? They betting on that. I mean, just think about this. Think about this. This how deep it goes. They're betting on the pitch that he throws. How how detailed can it get? I mean, my thing is okay. You can bet that he walks him or he strikes him out, but the bet on the pitches, that's detail. And this is my thing. Why would you communicate through cell phone on this? Why would you do that? But then let's think about this, guys. This is like liquor back in the day with Capone trying to bring liquor into the United States. The United States said, if we're not making no money, you're not gonna make no money. And if it's illegal, you're not bringing it into the United States. And this is what's going on with sports right now. They're saying, "Oh, this is what we're doing." Okay, so we're taking money out of people that's betting out of their pockets because you're rigging the games. At the end of the day, man, that's why I don't bet on nothing. I swear. Last bet I had was with Rich. It's about Facebook. It's about profile pictures. That's about as far as I'm going when it comes to betting. I ain't bet. I work too hard for my
I
money.
still owe Rich $1.
I don't bet no money on nothing because I work too hard to get what I get. I mean, I know the mega thing out there is like $900 million. I told my wife, I said I may go buy a ticket
Right.
for that. But other than that, man, come on, man. This is bad. This is really bad. You know what I'm saying? And like Curry said earlier, he said, "Yo, this is we just hit the tip of the iceberg on this because now just think about how detailed this is about a pitch that they betted on. They're betting on pitches, and the government is seeing this. The government's watching it. Yo, betting is a big business, man. And again, I never knew that MGM was down in the harbor Mo. And because whenever I go down to the harbor, Washington National Harbor, when I go down there to eat and maybe buy some things. But I never knew the MGM was down there until we went down there to see the Black Circus. And I'm sitting there, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm who I'm
It's
I,
on,
what I'm seeing though. What I'm seeing is older people that look like they're on a fixed income out there betting. People, people that
there's a casino.
people that people people that um that's older people. I'm telling you, look like they're on a fixed income. I'm down there betting, and then this is they bet on these games. Let's say they bet on some of these games. They lost money. So now, how do I get my money
Mm-hmm.
back? You know what I'm saying? This whole thing is not good for sports at all. They should have never brought it in. The farthest you can go is betting on who wins, who loses. It's simple as that. Don't bet on you can't bet on no players. You can't just the team wins or loses. Leave it there because at the end of the day, that's okay because it takes more than one person. I mean, it takes more than one person to win a game, and it takes more than one person to lose a game. Other than boxing and tennis and bowling, it's only one person. But baseball is nine players, football is 11, basketball is 5. At a time. You know what I'm saying? So
95 too.
so if you think about it though, you know, if you bet on the team to win, that's a different story. But if you bet on players to do certain things, this is where it gets corrupt. And it's and the thing about it is, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was a betting person, I would stop betting right now. I wouldn't bet no more. I I, I definitely wouldn't bet on basketball for sure, for sure. Um, Baseball is definitely out of the question now, and football is questionable. There's some questionable calls in football that can turn the game around. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, you can't get mad at the players because the referees are the one that kind of can predict how a game goes. Like for Rich, I'm gonna give you for example the game yesterday with the Rams and the 49ers. So they said that Kittle wasn't set right in the formation, and then they called pass interference, and they looked at both. It's like, well, you can't. Kettles was set, and they looked at the pass interference wasn't really there because they said the ball he really wasn't going to catch the ball, but they offset each other. So you can go back and look at that. You can question that right there because the referees are the ones doing that, right? It's not the players. But man, how can anybody tell me how can we fix this that this doesn't happen? Anybody got any suggestions? I'm all ears.
Outlaw gambling.
Outlaw gambling.
See what I'm saying? See, nobody, no, can nobody answer the question? Can nobody answer the question? Can nobody answer the question that I'm asking? Nobody. And that's sad. That's so sad.
Gambling's been around before sports. Exactly. It's not
That's
going
true.
away. That's true.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is though, is that back in the day they used to gamble on numbers on the newspaper, right?
Right.
And
Hmm.
and the government found out about that. So now we're gonna have a lottery. We're gonna have the three. We got the three numbers with the wild. We got three numbers. Then we came out with the four numbers. Then we come up with the five numbers. Then we got six. Now we got what 8 numbers coming out with a wild card number. Um, Now this is where I have an issue with this right here. When it comes to the lottery, supposedly it's supposed to go back into the community of the state, right? Um,
Mhm.
Rich, have you seen any streets over your way that need to be paved, being paved?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one in Pennsylvania.
Who have you seen any bridges get fixed lately?
No, they're working on Market
No, they're
Street
working on
Bridge.
Market Street Bridge.
Right, right. But remember they were saying how there's so many bridges in the country that needs to be redone over again. So
Hmm.
supposedly this is where the money's supposed to be going towards. Some of the money's supposed to be going to that, and some of the money's supposed to be going to senior citizens as well. Man, where's the money going? I don't know where I can't see where the money's going.
Yeah. I think it's where people say it's going.
Say it again, Lou.
I don't think it's where people think it's going. It may be going to other sources.
Okay.
It's supposed to go to the community to help with the education and other programs, but it doesn't seem to be the way. I think there's something deeper into that.
Exactly, exactly. So I just want to talk about that again because again, I think it's something that needs to be talked about and it needs to be talked about in a deeper conversation. But betting right now is like my brother hadn't even called me and said, "Hey, my parlay says this, my parlay says that for basketball, right?" He hasn't called me about that at all this year. He's like, "Do you think?" Because last year he's like, "Yo, do you think this is going to happen? Or you think that's going to happen? Or you think this is that whatever the case?" Ain't called, asked me not one thing about betting at all this year. So I don't even know if he's betting again. So, but I just wanted to bring that up,
Because you
guys.
made him lose.
Do what? I didn't make him lose.
He
He
didn't win no money. He didn't get his money listening to you.
no, because he don't. He would say to
So
me,
that's why he don't call.
he would say to me, "What do you think?" I'm like, man, I'm gonna tell you,
That's what I'm saying. It
no,
don't
no.
matter no more because you didn't help him win.
But let me say this, right? So
Right.
last year when we played the Golden State Warriors, and he's like, "Yo, I got Tatum," and he said, "I got Tatum and Brown getting 28 points apiece," and they blew them out in the first half, and they played the third quarter, and they didn't get no more. They ended up with 24 and 20, 24 and 20. I said to my brother, I said, nobody expected that to be a blowout. I said, but I said, I don't know what to tell you, man. Certain things I got, man, I can't, don't, I'm the last person to ask. I'll tell you that right now. I'm the last person to ask, but it is what it is, man. All right,
So
guys.
why you were out there and why he asked me? He ain't asking you.
Well, no, but I'm just saying that he just called me and said to me, he said, "This is what I'm doing." He said, "Do you think they're gonna get 28 a piece?" I said, "Of course they probably get 28 a piece against Go State." I said, they want to pay him back, but they paid him back in the first half, and
I'm killing in
yeah,
get basketball this year.
Basketball this year. Yeah, but it was actually a random question. That don't really mean he was valuing your opinion enough to for him to go out and bet on what you said.
exactly.
Like the other person said, you ain't want him no money.
Like he'll say to me, he I was sitting down watching I was at the bar watching I was watching Celtics play somebody Orlando, I think it was, and the dude sitting next to me. He said, "You're a Celtic fan, right?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." He said, I have White for two 3-pointers today. I said, "Man, he ain't hit one all game." And then he hit one like the latter part of the third quarter, maybe fourth quarter, and he didn't hit another one. He said, "Man, what's the odds of him not hitting two?" I said to him just like that. I said, "Well, I'm gonna say this to you. He's not going to be as open as he usually is without Tatum being on the floor." They when they spread, I said, if you watch, I said you have to watch the game to understand if you're going to bet something like that. I said because he brings the ball up the court now, so he's a point guard. I said he kind of creates everything for everybody else. I said so him getting a shot off is going to be not that great no more because he's going to be. They need him to play more defense. They need him to play offense. They're going to try to get offense from Simmons and Pritchard and Hauser and whoever else. I said anything that
Hey, can I say something real quick?
go ahead, Curry.
Can we get back to your gambling schedule or your gambling scandal in baseball? Cause we done got off into basketball
Yeah.
now, and I kind of like where you were going with
Oh, okay.
with your baseball thing,
Okay.
but we all in the basketball now.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying how I don't like guys don't guys that bet don't really. I really don't think they watch the sport that they bet on. To be perfectly honest with you, you know what I'm saying? I
I
don't think they
bet.
really
Wait a
watch it.
minute.
Bet. Wait a minute.
Do you watch? So let me ask you a question. When you bet on like if you do basketball, do you
Mhm.
bet on the players you bet on? Like, do you go and watch? Do you have you watched the games prior, or how do you bet? How do you tell us how you bet?
Like when I bet,
Like when I bet.
well, like starting at the
Well,
beginning of the
like starting at
season,
the
like
beginning of the season, like
you're basing
you're
everything off of
basing
last year.
everything off of last year.
You know what I mean? And
You know what I
so
mean? And so
we're still early in the
we're
year,
still
so
early
you
in the year, so you
the superstars are the
the
superstars,
superstars
so
are the
that's who you're
superstars. So
gambling
that's who
on
you're gambling on
just to
Okay,
get your
makes
money
just
up.
sense.
to get your money up.
That makes sense. That
And
makes
then
sense.
and then as the
And
Okay.
then
season
as the
progresses,
season progresses,
then you can get more
then you
granular
can
and
get
start
more
going for the
granular and
players
start going
like
for the players like
Peyton Pritchard to hit
Peyton
two three
Pritchard to hit two
pointers
three
and to
pointers
score eight
and to
points.
score 8 points.
But
So
But
that's a big hit.
that's a big hit.
so let me ask you a question. What's harder to bet on, baseball, basketball, or football, and for individual
Uh
players?
Uh,
Baseball by far.
Baseball by far.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
have your
mean,
studs, but
you have your
like
studs, but like
baseball is a game of
baseball is a
who's the
game of
best loser is.
who the best loser is.
You
Okay.
know, where
You know,
basketball
where
and football,
basketball and football,
you should be constantly
you should be
accumulating.
constantly accumulating.
Where baseball, you kind
Where
of,
baseball, you
and then you
kind
got
of,
hitting
and then you got
slumps
hitting
and
slumps, and
you got all kinds of stuff.
you got all kinds of stuff.
Basketball and football
And
are way
basketball
easier
and
to me.
football are way easier to me.
Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Anybody else got anything on baseball? I mean, on betting. But I just need some clarity. That's all I'm asking for. As a fan, I want clarity on on why these guys are doing what they're doing.
Well,
And
I was
this
go.
goes.
Oh,
I was
Go ahead, Rich. Go ahead, Rich.
I was gonna say
I was
earlier,
gonna say
like
earlier, like
for some of the
for
players,
some
like
of the
their
players, like
family and
their
friends are
family and
asking them for
friends are
money all the
asking them for
time.
money all the time.
So instead of
So instead of
asking me for money,
asking me for money,
why don't you go ahead and bet
why
on
don't you go
this?
ahead and
And
bet
this
on
is what
this?
I'll do
And
to
this is
make
what
sure
I'll
that you
do to make
win.
sure that you win.
You know what I mean? That's how
You know
I
what I mean? That's
feel.
how I
Some
feel.
of this stuff kind of
Some of this stuff
happens
kind of happens
because instead of coming
because
out my pocket,
instead of
why don't
coming
you
out
come
my
out of your
pocket, why don't you
pocket?
come out of your pocket?
But I can almost
But I
guarantee
can
that you get
almost
what you
guarantee that
need.
you get what you need.
But you getting it from Vegas and
But you
not
getting it
me.
from Vegas and not me.
Wow.
I can see
And
how that
and
could
I can
happen.
and
see how that could happen.
now this is my thing though. Let me ask you a question. Guys that like okay, like somebody like Antoine Walker who made all the millions of dollars and he um the guy that like him who made all this millions of dollars and he gave out a lot of money. He lost a lot of money in trying to buy land in Chicago, I think it was. And he lost billions of dollars on it, right? So I'm gonna say this.
Nah, he was betting with Jordan.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that this is how. Okay, so let me say this. When I retired from the school district, right? I was gonna retire this year, right? And the guy from Pisa said to me, he said, Mr. Dixon, he said, I think you might want to wait another year after this. And I was like, why? He said, because you're leaving a lot of money on the table if you don't take, because at 10 years I can max out. He said, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. He said, I know you want to go right now. He said, but let me tell you how much you're gonna leave on the table. And when he told me, I said, you know what? I'll stick around for another year. I'll be here for 2 years. But my plan is though is I'm going to my plan is to put some money in an IRA for my grandchildren, my nieces and my nephews, right? So that they can use that to go to college. But that's my plan. But if I'm a person that like Rich said that okay, I'll do this and you bet on this, I'm gonna say to them, if you need money, I'll pay for you to go to college to get a college education because the money that you're gonna get now, you're gonna spend it. You're not gonna have it. So I'd rather spend it on you getting going to college or you getting a trade or something like that to so that I know that you're gonna be okay on down the line. So you ain't come back and ask me for no more money. But Rich, I get what you're saying. How they may say, "Yo, I'll do this, I'll do that." But this is my thing though, Rich. The government's on top of it.
Hmm.
They not. They on top of this thing, man.
They gotta
They
be.
on top. They gotta be. They on top of it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much money, how much money like I had a cousin worked at Penn National, at the Penn National racetrack and there's casinos out there. He sits in a room and he watches people at tables. And there's certain things you have to look at to see if they're cheating or something of that nature. And he was getting paid, I think he said like $32 an hour to do that, right? He said it got kind of boring for him. He said because you're looking, you're looking, you're looking. These are things they tell you look for. But man, just think about how much money. Just think about how much money the government is spending on making sure that people that's gambling, if they lose the right way. If they win the right way, and they don't lose the wrong way, or they don't win the wrong way. They're just spending. That's a lot. That's a lot. I gotta commend them for what they're doing because they're catching it. But we knew, that they had a plan and they had a plan ahead of time. And they said, well, how about we let them do this? But how can we catch them? They already had a plan in place, you know. So I'm gonna tell them, anybody out there that if you gambling, you doing it wrong. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like mayonnaise sandwiches. Mm. I don't like cold chicken either with grease on it. I can't do that. I can't eat off a plastic plate every day. I'm sorry, I can't do that. So, but anyway, anybody else got anything else? Curry, did you have anything else for this?
Well, I ain't gonna dwell on too long because we kind of gone on it a while. But I was just gonna say it's easier to bet on yourself to fail than it is to bet on yourself to succeed. Because if you're gonna bet on, if I'm gonna bet on myself to get stolen bases or not get stolen bases, it's easier for me to say that I'm not gonna get two stolen bases. If I can slow myself down enough to the point where you don't even notice that I slowed down just to get myself thrown out because I bet against myself not to get those two stolen bases. But now, if you bet on me to get them, and there's more people involved in it now, the pitcher's got to throw the right pitch, and then the catcher got to throw me out. So I think in most sports, you can bet on yourself to fail better than you can bet on yourself to succeed. And I know you mentioned that Pete Rose never bet he bet on his team to win. There's no guarantee that Pete didn't bet on his team to lose because he was controlling he was driving the ship there. So he could have easily have made some choices to took a player out when he probably shouldn't have took that player out or left that player in longer than he should have. Because a gambler don't care who what wins, long as he wins. And so, I mean, I wouldn't give Pete the credit of being the honest John by saying I didn't bet against my team. I mean, you broke a rule, don't mean you wouldn't break another rule by lying. So, but anyway, I ain't gonna dwell on that because, like I said, that's long ago. But I just want to say, I think you can bet on yourself to fail a lot easier than you can to bet on yourself to succeed because there's just too many other people involved for you to succeed.
I agree. I totally agree with that. That's good.
And now we know that Curry is not Ricky Henderson. Because there's no way that Ricky Henderson will root against himself. Because Ricky gonna get it.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
but I mean, Ricky, I don't think betting was that widespread back when Ricky Henderson was playing, and I don't think it was I don't think it was a disease like it is now. See, you take Major League Baseball and NFL and all these major outlets, they have embraced these betting outlets like FanDuel and these others. I can't even think of some of the others, but they've embraced that because you look at the Giants, not the Giants, but the Jets and Browns game yesterday. How many people really watched that game unless they was a Browns fan or a Jets game? But now, if you got money on that game, that draws a little more attention to that game. You know, you pay a little bit more attention to that game because you got a little bit of chunk of change on that thing. You stand to win.
I agree.
A
I
true
totally agree.
gambler's not
A
touching
true
that
gambler
game
is not touching that game.
Mm-hmm. What now?
um
Um,
because
You
because
said a true
it's
gambler.
too
What now?
it's too
is not going
is
to touch
not
that
is
game.
not going to touch that game.
If they
Tell
did
us why.
anything, they
If
were
they
going to
did
gamble the
anything, they were going
under.
to
I
gamble
don't
the
know
under.
because I don't bet. I'm like Kevin. I don't know. I don't know, but a desperate means calls for desperate measures.
So, Rich, why wouldn't somebody bet on a game like that?
Because both teams are a
Because both
disaster.
teams are a disaster.
You know, like the
You
only
know,
thing you
like
could
the
do is
only thing you
probably
could do
bet
is
the under,
probably bet the
and
under,
that's
and
basically
that's
total
basically
score
total
will
score
be under a certain
will be
amount.
under a certain amount.
You know, so
You know, so
But you
you
still
don't
bet.
gamble on
you don't
players because they
gamble on
stink.
players because they stink.
Yeah, because they had a punt return for kickoff. I mean, a punt return for a
Yeah,
touchdown and a
Yeah,
kickoff for a touchdown. I'm like, how often does that happen in one game? And to me, I'm like, I'm sitting there saying to myself, yo, are they trying to lose this game on purpose?
yeah. You
Because
have no
I
idea
really
who's
yeah.
going to
You
believe,
have
win.
no idea who's going to win.
yeah, because I was like, it's crazy. It's just, it makes you scratch your head, man. It really does. It
It,
really does.
I don't think you're about trying to lose that because that puts your special teams coach on the fire right there.
Well, he need to be on the fire after that, after that debacle.
Yeah, no doubt. That's why the Raiders coach got fired.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm totally surprised that the brand that. Hmm, okay. Next topic, guys. What we got going on? Who's up next? Was it Rich or Mo? Which one? Who want to go next?
I just want to talk about
I just
Jonathan
want to talk
Taylor.
about Jonathan Taylor.
Um,
Okay, let's talk about Jonathan Taylor and how he's getting screwed out of not being MVP.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like I don't even
Like I
know
don't even know
if there's a quarterback that's
if there's a
playing well
quarterback
enough
that's
right
playing
now
well enough right
outside
now outside
of Matt Stafford
of Matt Stafford
that's playing well
that's
enough
playing
to
well
be
enough
talked
to
about
be talked
as an
about
MVP.
as an MVP.
Drake May's name's been coming up too
Drake May
as
has been
MVP.
Drake
balling,
May has been balling.
Yeah,
absolutely,
but
and the record
Absolutely,
speaks for
and the record
itself.
speaks for itself.
But
Matt
nobody's.
Stafford
I
name.
mean,
Nobody's.
quarterback wise,
I
Matt
mean,
Stafford's
quarterback
playing
wise, Matt
lights out.
Stafford's playing lights out.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
but
he's on another level.
Jonathan Taylor's playing some. He's doing some things that. How many yards he ended up with yesterday? Total yards.
200 and
200 and
so I forget it was two
so I
something,
forget it was two something,
I think it was 268 or 286 total yards.
something
Passing
like
and
that.
receiving.
something like that.
Yo, that
He's
I'm gonna
going
tell you.
nuts.
He's going nuts.
I'm gonna tell you what that team this team reminds me of with something like reminds me of the Rams with Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk. You bring two guys in together and together they're like there's like sweet music in the air. They it's rhyming. Everything's working in favor of both players. Daniel Jones is playing. Daniel Jones was probably in that conversation until he had them turnovers against um against Pittsburgh
Against who?
against Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
But
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
but um Drake May's name's been mentioned. I hear his name a lot. I'm hearing his name. And Matt Stafford's name has definitely. Matt Stafford has only threw 2 interceptions this whole year, and I think what's going on with I'm I'm gonna say this. If you look at the way the offense is being ran with Matt Stafford, they're going away from the wide receivers and they're going with 4 tight ends. And that's only because Puka got hurt is they went to that tight end. But if you go back and you read up on teams that win Super Bowls, that they run through a 3 tight end offense more likely than not, and they end up winning. They get to Super Bowl and win. If you go back and read up on it, I read this a while ago because they was talking about tight ends. Something it was an article I saw something about that. But what Jonathan Taylor's doing, it looked like it's so easy to him.
He looks like
So
a man
He
amongst
looks like a
children.
man amongst children.
yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Like he's just doing
Like
stuff,
he's
and it's
just doing
like
stuff, and it's like
they're not even bringing him
they're
up
not
in
even
MVP
bringing him up in
conversation,
MVP conversation,
Yeah, he
and
has
they
to
should
be.
be.
and they should be.
So let me ask you guys a question though. Should they make a different? Should they have MVP for? Would it be a problem having an MVP for? Um, let's say I don't want to say for every individual position because that's a lot, right? But if you do it for your skill positions, should there be an MVP for every skill position?
I think that
Because
they should
I
get rid of the
think that
most
they should
valuable
get rid of the
player
most valuable player
okay,
and just make it
and
offensive
just
player of
make
the
it
year.
offensive player of the year,
Like
okay,
like
because and
because
defensive player of the
and
year.
defensive player of the year.
Because most
Because
valuable,
most
I mean,
valuable, I mean,
let's think about it. You could
let's think
have
about it. You could have
a team that
a
goes
team that goes
11, or I'm not even gonna
11,
go
or
that
I'm
far,
not even gonna go
10
that
and
far,
7,
10-7,
and those 10
and
wins
those
came
10 wins
from
came from
a player
a player
that was so
that was
instrumental in
so
how they got
instrumental
those
in
10
how they got those
wins
10 wins
mm,
that he should be the
that
most
he
valuable
should be the
player
most
because he
valuable
was the
player
most
because he
valuable
was the
player to
most
their team,
valuable player to their team,
even though they only won 10
even though they
games.
only won 10 games.
Do you know?
that makes
Do
sense.
you know?
That makes sense. Anybody agree or disagree with that? That makes sense.
And just do an
And
offensive player of
just
the
do an
year.
offensive player of the year.
They already have the offensive player of the year. Then they have the MVP. So they have all these different positions already. I think the problem is that they want to give the MVP always to a quarterback. There have been years where it wasn't a quarterback, but
The last one was
who's more important to that team? Is it Daniel Jones or is it Jonathan Taylor? That's a good question because Daniel Jones played poorly against Pittsburgh and we won. We also stopped Jonathan Taylor.
that's a good question.
Well, I
The thing
wouldn't
I
say
will
they
say is,
stopped Jonathan
They
Taylor.
stopped Jonathan.
and I was going to just piggyback off what Mo just said. The MVP award might as well be called the quarterback award because that's who usually wins. I think the last time a non-player won it was Adrian Peterson. I could be wrong, but I think he was the last one
Yeah, he
that
was.
didn't win it. But if you look at last year, Barkley had
Mm-hmm.
over 2,200 yards from scrimmage, and he didn't get the MVP.
Yeah,
If you look
And
at
he
the
should
year
have.
before,
And he should have.
Tyreek Hill had 1,814 yards, and he didn't get the MVP. He was 186 yards. 186 yards from 2,000 yards, and he would have got that 186 yards if he hadn't got hurt and had to slow him down and miss the game there. So to Mo's point, it's a quarterback award. It's not a MVP award. Yeah.
it's hard to say. It, you know, I would like to say I don't want to see Jonathan Taylor get hurt, but I would like to see them play without him and see how well he does, that how well he plays, how well Daniel Jones plays without him in the lineup, or play not Daniel Jones not be playing not to play, and you got Jonathan Taylor. I think it's a different. Um, I think if you have another quarterback playing I think John Patel still does what he does, right? Because he doesn't rely on Jones to throw him the ball because it's more of a rushing thing for him compared to Jones not playing with Daniel because he's such a significant part of the offense where he uses him out the backfield sometimes to do certain things. But I'm telling you that them two remind me of Kurt Warner and Marshall Falk because they just came together and just like sweet music, man. They was the bomb. Yeah, but he has to have some consideration doing what he's doing. I mean, there's nobody close to what Jonathan Taylor's doing right now. And just think about the age that he is right now. And Jonathan Taylor's been with the coach from day one. He only time he asked for trade right before this contract, I think it was, because he didn't know what direction he was gonna go in as far as the coaching was. You know what I'm saying? But he stuck around, stayed with that team, and you gotta give him credit for that because there were just ups and downs with that team, and now they kind of they got a pot of lucky gold with Daniel Jones right now, who's playing at at an All Pro level with the Colts and man, coach the Colts have what two losses I think. They should only
think it's
have
two.
one for real. I think it's two. They should only have one for real. They should only have one. They should have beat the Rams. They blew the Rams game. You know what I'm saying? And then if you look at the Rams game, you can sit back and say the Rams should have never they should have lost the 49ers. The fumble in the goal line that they win that game. They got a block punt, a block field goal um against the Eagles, which would have made them win. You know what I'm saying? So you can look at it either way, but the Colts actually they should have one loss. Um, them and the Patriots are gonna be fighting for the number one seed, I think, in the AFC right now. Anybody else on Jonathan Taylor? Any comments, concerns? All right, Mo, what you got for us?
I got, do the Dodgers have a monopoly on Japanese players, or is it just they created a pipeline?
Because
right now they are doing it big.
Are you asking me as a Dodger fan?
Let me finish.
Okay.
There are two that are about to be posted now: a starting pitcher and a third baseman. This year coming in, both all-star players. Ichiro did not play in the Dodgers. Godzilla played for the Yankees. Where did this start? Because even Shotani, am I saying Otani? I'm saying your word now, Shotani. Otani went to the Angels, not to the Dodgers. He is Shotani now, though.
Yeah.
Where did this start?
Ichiro Suzuki.
It started way before then. It started with Shano Park, I think. It might have started before him. I can't think of the Asian guy that pitched for the Dodgers way back when. Oh my goodness, I can't think of his name. I want to say Shoham Park, but it might have been somebody else prior to him that pitched for him. Because if you think about it, Venezuela was what, Mexican or Argentina or whatever. You thought those guys?
Yeah, you're thinking of Kevin. Nomo.
No, yeah, Nomo. Yep, that's what I'm thinking about. Nomo. If you think about it, when Venezuela, Fernando came in town. When Fernando came to the Dodgers, you thought the pathway was going to be for the Mexicans, the Argentinas, the Cubans, all of them to jump into the league and do what Fernando did. But then it slowed down with the pitching part of it, but you still got them in other positions. I think Nomo was the one that kind of started it for the Oriental for Japanese to come over here and play. Um, with the and he picked the Dodgers at the time, I think it was, to come and play. Um, but then you look at you,
Jackie Robert was one of the first players. He played for the Yankees, but he did not do well.
but I think because the Yankees was they were the standard. I think that's why he went to the Yankees because that was the standard at the time. You know what I mean? That does sound right. You would think Seattle would be another place too because you had what's his name that played with Seattle?
Ichiro.
Ichiro. Yep. He played with the Mariners, so you would have thought that would be a good spot for them. Um, but it's not. Even the Giants have a big background of Orientals,
Mm-hmm.
Asian people as well. But you don't see them going to the Giants. There's something going on with the Giants that no free agent wants to go there. Something's not right there. You know what I'm saying? And if they offer you the most money and you still say no, what's the reason why? So I don't know if the Dodgers get those two guys, then I think a lot of it has to do with the connection to Shotani and Yamamoto, or whatever his name is. I think it's a connection with those two. You know, and I think that if you listen to Freddie Freeman talk, he says this is not just a team; it's a family. And I think what made this team come together so well was last year when Freddie Freeman's son was in the hospital, right? And they's playing for him. The same thing happened to Mookie's child. They're playing for him. You know what I'm saying? So then you have Vince Scully who passed away. So these guys all had a reason to sacrifice their their stats to win a World Series. Now, what's gonna motivate them next year to maybe three repeat? I don't know. Is it because it's a three repeat? They go back to back to back? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But again, I mean, that's a good question, man. And I would love for somebody to answer that one because even as a Dodger
Uh,
fan, I don't know. Go ahead, Rich.
I think I know why.
We listening.
Dave Roberts is half Japanese,
He is. He
and
is.
he probably speaks the language and everything. So it's easier for a Japanese player to want to come to LA, and it kind of helps them with the cultural changes because Dave Roberts is half Japanese and half black.
Okay. Oh, that makes a lot of sense right there.
Hmm.
And and you guys know I've never been a big Dave Roberts fan. I wanted Dusty Baker to take over way back when, but I gotta give him credit, man, for what he did in Game 7. He I would never question him again after that. That Game 7, he did some things in that game. I was like, wow, why would you do that? I'm not an anal, I don't, I'm not an analytic when it comes to baseball. Basketball maybe, football maybe, but baseball, nah, I'm like, yo, what are you doing that for? But that, Rich, that could have a lot to do with it, man. A lot. And if you notice though, if you look in the stands, if you look in the Dodger stands, you have a lot of Asian, you have a lot of Mexicans, Spanish that's there,
Hmm.
and the same with the Rams. You know what I'm saying? And you know who else? San Francisco and Oakland are almost the same. The Raiders. When we went out to Vegas last year before last, and we saw the Raiders play the 49ers, man, you would not believe. Wow, the population of how many people that's not black or Caucasian that was in the stands watching those two teams play. So that's a thing that's I guess I don't know if that's a West Coast thing or what,
I
but man,
think it
it's
is.
a lot. It's a
When
lot,
we
man. It's a
when I
lot.
went to San Francisco for the Niners Cowboys, they it was a culture shock because even for my brother, and he's a white dude, because it was so many Mexican and Asian people walking around. It was like you didn't see very many white people, very many black people. It was Asian and Mexican.
A lot. It's a lot out there. I mean, amazingly a lot when it comes to baseball. And and Mo, this is the thing that gets me though, is like I want to see what we do in the World Series next summer. I want to see how this thing works out. I want to see how they schedule this whole situation around the baseball season. Wait a minute, isn't the Olympics in 2026? The Winter Olympics?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too. I can't wait. I love the Winter. I like the speed skating. That's my thing, baby. Oof, I can't wait till that come up. So
hold on 4 months, 3 months.
So Mo, I think you got your answer to the pipeline from Rich. Dave Roberts being black and Japanese. So my daughter said black. My daughter calls it blackanese. That's what she calls it. She says they're blackanese, right? It's it's weird. It's weird. It's just weird. I don't know why, but she came up with the word blackanese. Because she got a little Japanese and all kind. That's another story to go into. Anybody else? Kara, you got a topic?
We didn't touch on it long because we were short on people last week, but I like to rehash the one that I had last week. I still think and believe that it would be in baseball's best interest to get a salary cap.
Okay.
Because baseball needs a salary cap, and I know you don't agree with that, but I feel like it would be for the better of the whole game all the way around. Because if you can go out there and buy a team like the Dodgers had, you can put me out there and I can put that thing on autopilot and win a bunch of games.
But you know what?
If you got a scrap and win games like they used to have to do in the older games, in the older days, they didn't have these guys or these big hitters. Everybody was to the big home runs. Used to be when you had the St. Louis Cardinals of old, Whitey Herzog's teams. He didn't have no big power hitters. He had a speed and defense and pitching. And if you had the build teams like that today, you wouldn't survive because other teams would outspend you. But if you put a salary cap in there and make the playing field even for the small market teams to go out and compete, because like I say, most of those teams don't even have a fighting chance when they hit opening day in April. They know good and well they're not going to even make the playoffs. They just out there playing, and hopefully they can catch lightning in a bottle and maybe have a winning season. But other than that, they don't have a chance.
So I'm gonna say this. If you looked at when we talked about, I just lost Rich. Hopefully he can come back. If you look at the situation with Ohtani, again he had an opportunity to go to the Blue Jays and he changed his mind. Why he changed his mind, I have no idea why he did that. But if you look at the salary cap, the Blue Jays is right there with the Dodgers when it came to the salary cap. So it says on one hand, if you look at Toronto as a small market team, they went out and spent the money they need to spend to be where they're at right now. I think the biggest pickup for them was when they got Bichette. Is that Bo Bichette from the Astros? I think that was a great pickup for them, right? And I think they were all in money wise to want to win, even though they came from last to first. The money, the taxable money they spent, they still made money, right? And so my thing is right here. if you got the money to spend it, spend the money. Go. I mean, who doesn't want to play in Florida, right? If you if you if you saying weather is a factor, you don't want to play. You don't want to go to Chicago because the weather's not that great there, right? The furthest team in the north, you got the Yankees, but Yankees got history, so why not want to play there, right? Um, Seattle I think Seattle has a dome, right? Mariners has a dome.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're playing in the dome. Toronto's playing in the dome, so the weather's not a factor. So the Mets spent money, but I think the Mets they're maybe 2 or 3 players away. And right now, if you look at the free agency market, Curry, the Mets and the Red Sox are going to be really active right now coming up. I think those two teams, because the Red Sox wasn't too far away from being in this thing, right? The Mets, they just couldn't get over the hump for whatever reason. The Cubs got some issues to deal with as far as money goes. But I think if you go out and spend the money, and you go out and spend the money for the players that you need to get, and then by All-Star break or when it's time to trade, you tweak what you have, you're right there. And if you think about it for real, I get your point when it comes to the money side of it, because whenever we have had a season where we've had it come down to the last game of the season for teams to win a division or get the wild card or whatever the case may be, it's never been this close before. So the money's working for some.
It's quite frequent, and there's so than you might think, but it's not like it's a runaway in any division and the whole division every year. But I remember back when there used to be 2 divisions, where it was the East and the West in the National League. The Braves was out there in the West with the Dodgers and all that. Right. I remember the Braves and the Giants going down wire to wire, and I remember Philadelphia and Montreal and those teams going, all the way down to the wire. So it's always happened, but I still say that these small market teams can't go out and spend money because they don't have the backing from some of the community like some of these other teams do. Like if say I'm just gonna throw a name out there, if Pittsburgh Pirates decide they want a stadium, they want a new stadium. The fans say, well, why do you want a new stadium? What are you doing for us? We want a new stadium just to look pretty. We want you to go out and win some games. But now, if you take a team like the Dodgers, if they decided that they wanted to move out of Dodger Stadium and they wanted a new stadium, they could do it based on the money that they already got. But they would probably get funding from the community to help them build a stadium. They love them, they support that team.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I think you have a valid point there. When you say Pittsburgh, even Cincinnati, saying Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati's up and coming team. And I think that that's a valid point right there. That's a valid point. But I'm gonna still say this right here. If you want to win, they're saying you gotta spend money. And that list I gave you, there was like a bunch of teams that didn't have to pay a tax at all. But they're not winning. So my thing is like, okay, are you in it to make a profit so you can sell the team, or are you in it to help the team win, right? Like Jerry Jones, are you just here to make money, or are you here to help the Cowboys get Super Bowl? We already know he's in it for the money. He could care less if they win another Super Bowl. To be perfectly honest with you, But then again, Curry, I'm gonna say this though. You're gonna probably start seeing a lot of teams move around if they don't start winning, and maybe they want a new stadium. You might see that. That's a good possibility. But I mean, if they, and the thing about it, if you bring in a cap, and players start to deferring their money, then you can still do what you need to do. Because you think about it, Otani deferred his money. That's how they could afford to keep Snell. I mean, go out and get Snell because of that right there. So the thing about it is, and he came to them and said, "Yo, I deferred this money in order to get other players to come here." So if you get guys that understand that, and this is what I mean by it being more than just a baseball team. It's more than it's like a family, right? So you want everybody to come to the table and eat, not just me to eat. You know,
we know all families don't get together, and all families don't support each other either. If you want to use that analogy, but I just don't think that you gonna have that much support when it comes down to small market. If you had a salary cap, these teams could not go out and beef up on players because we would pick this player, but we ain't got the player. It's salary caps help the NFL, salary caps help the NBA, and I think it would help the Major League Baseball too. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Major League Baseball they're losing. They're going to lose a lot of fans. They still the average 25, 30-year-old probably don't watch baseball.
I would probably say so. So. If I had to do the research, I would probably agree with you on that there. And I think a lot of it, even though the game's gotten faster, doesn't last as long. It's baseball is more of a thinking man sport, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why we as Afro Americans don't play baseball like we should, because it's more of a thinking sport than a reactionary sport. Football is reactionary, basketball is reactionary.
Now, man, I hate you said that because I totally disagree with you on every level that you just said that.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Because you discounted the American race is to the lowest when you said that. Because some of the best baseball players in the past were African American players. I mean, they didn't just get dumb all of a sudden. So
No,
they've always been smart. They may have been too smart to play baseball, but
no,
I think the reason you don't see as many African American players playing baseball is because the exposure is not there like it used to be. It used to be there was a baseball field in every community, every neighborhood. You go play baseball, that's all you had to do. But and the price to play baseball now has gotten so expensive. To even get on a team and get on a travel team, it's got so expensive. But now I would not discount the black race like that by saying they have to think and not smart enough to think to play the game, because anybody can go up there and hit that ball or throw that ball across the plate.
no. What I mean by that is like the game is too slow, right?
Yeah.
It's too slow for and let me explain myself when I say about African Americans. We Jackie Robinson was the best, one of the best play Josh Gibson, one of the best player, because baseball was the only game that they could probably play back then, right? They made a name for themselves doing baseball. But as time went on, we don't want to play it because like it's not that exciting, because you only get opportunity to get the bat maybe once. You get out in the field and you out there standing there for a good 3 outs and the ball never comes to you. With football and basketball, you're engaged all the time you're on the field. That's what I'm saying about
Right.
that's the part I'm saying right there. You're engaged all the time. With baseball, you're not engaged. like I was trying to explain to my son one time. He said, "Dad, I don't want to play baseball no more." I said, "Why?" He said, "It's too boring." I said, but to him, I said, "Quentin," I said, "Listen here." I said, "You're left-handed." I said, if you bat right-handed, that makes you just that much dangerous. I said, being left-handed, the advantage that you have is left-handed. I said, you already 2 steps ahead of a right-hander, so you hit the ball down left field. I mean, left down the left line to the third baseman, because you already have 2 steps ahead of him. You can get to that base faster than he can. I said, but you got to think about the game. You got to be able to maneuver the game in your mind. And he's like, Dad, I can't do it. And I think he was really good at baseball, more than he's good at football, and more better than he was at basketball. You know. And I said to him, I said, just keep playing the game, man. I said, and when you get to high school, it's not about the wins or losses. It's about how well you play the game. I said, because what's going to happen, somebody's going to see you, and they're going to say, hey, can you come down to my training camp and I just need you to run from home to home. I said, and if you can do it in so many seconds, then they say, okay, we can work with you. We can get you to bat. We can teach you how to bat, and, and figure out where we want you to play in the outfield or first base, second base, whatever the case may be. But he just didn't
Well,
have
you
the
know,
patience.
I think too. If you look at players that I think if you want to say that they probably not as educated, I would say that you probably have that more in the NFL than you would in Major League Baseball because you have players. You guys may not remember. There was a player named Dexter Manley that played for Washington Redskins.
Yes.
Dude couldn't
Yeah.
even read.
Yes.
He couldn't even read, but he made it through college and made it through. And made it to an NFL football team.
Mm-hmm.
And you had you guys might remember Brian Jordan. Brian Jordan said he couldn't read. His mother was an educator, but you know he still wasn't good at reading and doing all this stuff. He taught himself how to read by doing extracurriculars and doing different things. Now I think he does something to help kids that that are slow learners when it comes to reading. So, but I think in football you probably would have more players that skate by with less intelligence than you would say
I would
any others.
I would agree. I would agree because think about this, guys. How many guys have we heard about being bankrupt for football and basketball? How many guys have we heard being bankrupt from baseball?
Countless stories on that. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I just think that because it's, that baseball is not that exciting for people of our color. I think it's harder for them. I just think I mean, and then I tell you what it is too is when you have I had a cousin that played for the Seattle Mariners, and he was playing I think Double A, Triple A. I can't remember which one it was. He was 19 going on 20, I think it was. And it was guys that were 17, 18, maybe. They might have lied about their age, but they said, yo, they're younger than you. So we're gonna get more. We'll work with them more than we work with you because you have less time in the league than they will. And it's maybe 1 or 2 year gap between it. But they're looking at, okay, you get to the majors at 24, they get to the majors at 20, 21. So that's another issue that we've always had as well. But I'm not taking that away from African Americans about playing baseball. I just think that it's more to me it's more of a thinking man sport than football and basketball because football and basketball is more reactionary. You don't really have to think. You have to react quicker than baseball. And that's just my personal opinion.
I think
What we got? Go ahead, Rich.
I think
I think
baseball isn't
baseball
popular in the
isn't
black
popular in
community
the black community
because, like Curry
because,
said,
like Curry said,
you used to have
you used to
a
have
baseball field
a
on
baseball
in every
field
community,
in every community,
and then that went away,
and then that went away,
and then they stopped
and then they stopped
recruiting for black folks.
recruiting for black folks.
And so,
And
unless you
so,
were good in high
unless
school,
you
you
were
didn't
good
get
in high
noticed.
school, you didn't get noticed.
And then
And then
here come the
here
Dominicans and
come
the
the
Puerto
Dominicans and
Ricans,
the
and they're
Puerto
going over to
Ricans,
the
and they're going over
islands
to the islands
in South America
in
and
South
Japan
America and Japan
to get players.
to get players.
And the thing about the
And the thing
Dominicans is
about the
that you're not
Dominicans
sure
is that you're not sure
if they're the age that they
if
say
they're
they
the
are.
age that they say they are.
Right.
You know, they look 12,
You
but
know,
they're
they
like
look 12,
19.
but they're like 19.
And you know who was one of the players that was uh Puig.
Right.
He wasn't old enough to
Right.
play. He was they found that he was younger than what he actually was, and that's how he got the contract with the Dodgers because he lied about his age.
I mean,
You
you can
know,
do that.
I mean, we can do that.
You know, and I think
You
that they
know,
just
and I think that
replaced
they just replaced
black players
black players
with Dominicans specifically, because it's mostly a Dominican league at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And
And if you think about it, Rich, and everybody else, there was a point in time where there was like 2% of blacks that played baseball.
mm-hmm.
Um, and there was some teams didn't even have a black on the team, didn't have Afro American at all on the team.
But
And
every team has a
again,
Dominican.
yeah, and again, it goes back to like the recruiting part of it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
some people say it's too expensive to play baseball, but this is my thing with baseball. This is my thing with any sport. You should not play one sport all year round. Your body's not built to do that. You know, Curry, when we grew up, we played football during football season. When football season's over, we played basketball. When basketball season's over, we played baseball. That's what we did.
Or
Only
track.
thing we probably didn't do was the only thing we probably didn't do was run track. You know what I'm saying? Because it was had to go somewhere to run track. But then we had relays on the streets. We run up and down the streets and have relays. So we did everything. We did everything within our block. Within my block, we played football. We played baseball, wall ball. We call wall ball. We went to play basketball. We had a field, the Arsenal. Rich, I don't know if you know where the Arsenal is on
Oh
Hershey.
yeah,
We went to play
15th
football.
and
We
Her.
played football there. Yeah, we played football there. We had a basketball court. We played baseball.
Sure.
Um, we did it
15th and
all.
Calder.
We did it all. You know what I'm saying? Where now these kids really don't. They don't want to get out and do nothing. They want to play the PlayStation and things of that nature. So again, I think there's a lot of things that fall in place that we as African Americans is the reason why we're not playing baseball. Like I told the one kid the other day, I said 1 out of 1,000,000 kids make it to football. He's like, huh? I said, yeah. I said, can you imagine how many colleges they have in the United States? I said, on top of that, you have the Canadian Football League. On top of that, you have European Football League. All these people can get drafted. All of them could get drafted. I said, you only got so many teams. You only got so many slots. I said, and then on top of that, you can become a free agent. I said, in by the seventh round, you already know if you're not getting drafted and you get a phone call, I want you to come as a free agent to my team. Then you're fine. They bring in like anywhere like 20 free agents. And by first practice, they done already cut half of those guys because they know what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to make it in football. I said if I had a son right now, we would be concentrating on baseball and baseball only. He would run track.
Yeah, but that's a good point. That's a good point you made because what you said earlier that you play one sport and then you transition from that sport into the next sport and so forth and so on. But now, if you're a baseball player and you committed to baseball, you don't have time to play basketball because when the regular season's over, then you got the travel ball and then you got the winter ball and just baseball now is just such a long season for even the little leaguers than it is for a lot of the minor leaguers because they play so long. And so, to your point, like you said, they don't get to play all these other sports like they used to. And I heard somebody say, I don't know where I heard it from, and I don't know how much truth it is, but I can almost believe it, that may be contributing to a lot of the injuries that they don't get. When you play different sports, you work different muscles and you work different parts of your body. And like you were saying, you played all those other different sports, but now they so committed to one sport they probably don't get to work but so much of their body, and then when they do have to work it in an awkward way, they come up with some injury.
And if you believe it or not, though, you have more teenagers now getting Tommy John surgery than you are in the pros. Because let's say if you're a pitcher and you're going to a college and you're a pitcher, they say, okay, we're gonna give you Tommy John surgery right now, get it out the way, right? So you can get this out the way, you know. And so to me, that's just a procedure that help you last longer in baseball, but you're getting it done in high school now. You get you
And it used to be a time when you had Tommy John surgery, you were done.
done exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, man, exactly.
Well, I mean,
All
even
right,
in high
let's
school, Like my nephew plays high school ball. Two of my nephews play high school ball. But one is a pitcher. And his pitch count is like 85. Before they start taking them out. That's practically a game.
That should be a game right there. 85 pitches at high school level.
Yeah. So I mean, they're getting worked.
Yeah.
You know.
So, yeah, we'll see how this thing goes. What we got up next, guys? Anything else before we move on?
Let's talk about Brian Daboll.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this to y'all. I was on Brian Daboll staying with the Giants until yesterday, and I put in the chat room. I said, "Yo, depending on if they win or lose this game, we gotta talk about this because I'm gonna say this to you. When he had Jason Dart running the football on first and second down, I said, what is he doing? What is he doing? That you're going to cause you. He's going to get hit and he's going to get hurt. And what ended up happening? He gets a concussion. They end up losing the game. That's how he lost that job right there because you don't have your star quarterback of your future running the ball on first, second downs. Now, third down, when you need to get that 10 yards or 7 yards, okay, that's fine. But have him run right now? No, I don't care how young he is. You know, he's been in the tent more than he's been on the field in the last couple of games. I think that's why they got rid of him. But the coach that they're keeping, they say he has a very good chance of being the next head coach. So...
Didn't they say that about all interims?
No, I'm just saying when what I heard today about it was they probably won't be looking for another coach because the interim coach that they have is well liked within the organization and well liked by the players. But there's some names coming up as we get into this that is very interesting. That could be Giants head coach. And let's think about the New York Giants. Everybody can't be a coach. Everybody can't coach in New York, right? There's no place like New York.
No.
I don't care. You can talk about Florida. You can talk about LA, but there's no more pressure than playing in New York. I'm sorry. It's just one of those animals. The pressure in New York is worse than anywhere else. In any other state, nobody can. I don't care because the media is always there in your face, no matter what you do. So the next coach they bring in got to be a guy that can deal with the media. But again, I was all down for him until I'm watching the game, and when I put in the chat, I said, "Yo, if they win this game, we got to talk about this." And then I looked because I went to do something. I came back and I said, "Why is Russell Wilson in the game?" And then they said that he got a concussion. I said, "Oh, he's getting fired." I said, "He's getting fired. He's definitely getting fired." They made Chicago Bears look so good.
He was fired regardless.
I'm just saying though is that, and the thing about it is even though the interim coach has gotten the backing of the owner, that says something good. That's a good thing for Jackson Dart, I think, in a sense. But after seeing him run on first and second down, it's like, what is he doing with this kid, man? He can't do this. He's not gonna last long. He's gonna be RG. He's gonna RG3. He's gonna RG3 him. I'm telling you right now. So I was wrong. Y'all was right.
I think this what's his name? What's the coach's name now?
The backup coach?
Kunet. What's his name? I forget his name. But he's fired too. Like he's a part of the problem.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, if you listen to sports radio today, everybody talked highly of this guy. I'm telling you right now.
I would too.
Talk highly.
I would talk about highly about him right now.
Well, this is the thing about this, right? Look at the Titans. Ain't nobody talking about their their interim coach, he know he's gone.
He's fired.
Gone. He's fired. But let me just look at the Giants. Giants are 2-8,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the Packers, the Lions,
loss
at the Patriots,
loss.
Washington. That could be up. That could be up in the air depending on who's quarterbacking. The Vikings, that could be up in the air because I'm not sold on J.J. McCarthy yet.
No, he's
they can beat the Raiders, and they got the Cowboys. Now this, I can't wait to the end of the season because we're gonna have a bunch of teams that'll probably have the same record, 2 losses, 2 to 3 losses, and how do they figure out who gets the number 1 draft pick and what they do with number 1 draft pick? It's gonna be whoever. Let's look at this. Let's look at this real quick. All right, the standings. So every team is in last place right now. The Jets are in last place. The Browns are in last. Titans got one. They got 1 win. Vegas got 2 wins. Giants got 2. Minnesota's 4. New Orleans got 2. Arizona has 3.
They fired the head coach.
They fired what coach?
Duval. They fired him today.
Oh yeah. So if we think about those teams in general, right? So Arizona, they got their first round draft. They got a draft pick. The Saints, they have a draft pick. The one that's curious to me is the Browns because the Browns already have two first round draft picks. So if they get the number 1 draft pick and they can get more draft picks and get the quarterback that they think they want or think they need, that makes it very interesting. The same thing with the Giants. If the Giants end up with number 1 draft pick, do they keep it? Do they move it? Do they add more pieces?
What is we need to talk about the Browns.
Huh?
What are they going to play Shedeur?
Gable didn't play bad yesterday.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Did he win?
He didn't play bad yesterday.
But who cares?
But who cares?
My thing is this.
You have to give him an opportunity
to do what?
Like I'm gonna say this. He played well. He played well yesterday within the play. I'm gonna say this. I could tell there was somebody else calling the plays other than Stefanski, because them guys, and maybe it's because of the Jets. I don't know. So let me ask you guys a question about this, okay?
Just call it what it is.
Do you
I just need to say Lewis being blackballed.
So let me ask you.
To say this.
Go ahead.
Seeing Joe Flacco do so well for the Bengals means that Stefanski needs to be fired.
Name me, but hold up. How you can't say that because they got 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers.
You guys have 2 Pro Bowl tight ends.
Who's the other tight end?
Tight ends look amazing.
Who's our Pro Bowl tight end?
And Njoku and Fannin. I'm saying they both are leading your team right now.
Fannin ain't no Pro Bowl. He's a rookie.
He's balling.
I'm not saying
they both are balling.
I'm not saying he's balling, but I'm not saying he's. I'm not saying
your coach is holding y'all back.
But I'm not saying
your defense is good.
I'm not saying they're not balling, but you just went from a rookie and Nagochu, who stays hurt all the time, comparing.
He hasn't been hurt this year.
Yeah, he's been hurt. He's hurt early part of the year. Yeah. You comparing them to the 2 wide receivers in Cincinnati?
No.
Stop. No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
What he's saying is that there is talent in Cleveland.
Where's that on offense?
I mean, you do have Jerry Jeudy, right? He's there.
He's there. Yeah, but that was the best game he played. That's the best game he played all year. Was that game?
Wait a minute. Could it be that quarterback play is the problem? Because Dylan Gabriel's not great.
No, he's not. Dylan Gabriel's not great. But watching them yesterday, he's not the reason why they lost that game.
Against the Jets.
He's not the reason why they lost the game.
against the Jets.
But
The team worse than them.
But he's not the reason why they lost the game.
Yeah.
And if you look at the
He's
game,
not the reason they won either.
No, but he's the reason why they got 14 points or 17, whatever they ended up, 17 points.
Yeah.
Yo,
You gotta.
But you look.
But losing is because you don't have a quarterback.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not
quarterback a chance.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm saying the talent that the Browns have, they don't have that. I'm gonna say this: when Deshaun Watson got there, when Deshaun Watson got there, you had Chubbs, and you had my man out there in Kansas City right now, two running backs. Then you had all-pro tight end, you had all-pro wide receivers, and you had a decent line. So he don't play that first year. He comes back and he's terrible, right? So when you bring him in, you're thinking, okay, we got what we need, and it doesn't work out because he doesn't play, okay? And then you got guys that leave and go places. The only thing that's been consistent with them is probably the offensive line. That's the only thing that's been consistent. Yeah. Now, do they got a running back that's going to be good?
Let's be honest, Kev.
What?
The only thing that's been consistent is the head coach. Baker Mayfield looks a lot better outside of Cleveland.
But listen to this. But
looks a lot better outside of Cleveland.
But you can't. Joe Flacco took him to the playoffs, right? He took them. No. When Joe Flacco took him to play, didn't Joe Flacco take him to the playoffs?
Yes.
Then why they trade him?
No. To answer my question, did Joe Flacco take him to the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Wait. Let me finish. Did Flacco did Joe Flacco throw 4 interceptions in the playoffs?
That happens.
I don't know. I know Ben Roethlisberger threw 4 interceptions. That's why we lost.
Yes, he threw 4 interceptions. He threw 2 pick sixes against Houston, right? So again, you're saying it's a quarterback play that got him there. It's a quarterback play that lost it, right?
No, I didn't say it was a quarterback play. I said it's your head coach.
I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. He's the
one that's making the decision of who's starting the quarterback.
He is the head coach and the GM and the owner. They all three can't get on the same sheet of music. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because the owner
he didn't want Shedeur.
Yeah, the owner didn't want Shedeur. The GM drafted Shedeur.
The GM was okay with Shedeur. The head coach didn't want Shedeur.
No, I said that, and neither did the GM. The owner didn't want him, and neither did Stefanski. But the GM wanted him there, right? I'm saying give Gabriel enough time to play enough games to see what you got. Like I'm telling you, like the game yesterday was probably his best game. Do I want to see Shedeur play? Of course I do want to see him play, right? There's games that, like the game against who did they blow out? The game they won, the Dolphins. Yeah, they would score 30-some points. Shedeur should have played. He should have played in that game. Right? But my thing is though, if you guys want to say that he's maybe blackballing him, I can agree with that. I can agree with that at some point in time, right? But again, now I'm gonna say this: are you gonna lose your job over not playing your best player? Because as a coach, you want to win, so you're gonna play your best player, right?
You're 2-7.
But my thing is, if you want to win, you're gonna play your best player.
Are you trying to win?
Who is afraid of your player's father taking your job? You don't play the player. No. The reason that Dable is being fired is because Malik Neighbors got hurt, Scatterbo got hurt, and then he got Jackson Dart hurt.
Right.
Those are coaching decisions.
Right.
And he's a terrible coach
because he's running people into the ground. And your guy is afraid to let Shedeur shine.
because he can't win either way. Because it's gonna be like, oh, why did you wait to draft him? Oh, why did you wait to play him? Oh, Dion would do better with him. There's no winning for Stefanski to play Shedeur unless he just bombs. That's the only way Stefanski wins.
I still think that you still I give Gabriel one more game.
I give him 0 games.
And then it would be.
Why? You already know what you have in Gabriel.
But I'm saying to you, I see him getting better, right?
Do you?
Even in the loss against the Patriots, he threw 2 interceptions. The one was good enough as a punt. The other one he threw in the double coverage. Okay, I can understand that, but because they was winning the game at halftime, right? I can understand that. That's another game that Shedeur should have played in, right? But again, those 2 games Shedeur should have played in because they were blowout games. He should have been playing. Why he never played them, I don't know. If you want to say he's blackballing him, that's fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, the GM or the owner can go back and say, hey, you're going to play this kid if you want to or not. If you don't want to play him, then this quit right now. This quit because we want to see what this kid has. We want to see what he has. You know, and there's rumors out there that Deion Sanders may go to Cleveland and be the next head coach. I've already read that, but Deion said he don't want to coach in the pros. And I'm gonna say this, health wise, I don't know if that'd be a good thing for him because he's going through a lot of things with his health. So I don't even know if they want to take that chance. I really don't, because I'm looking around, and Stefanski's on the hot seat right now. He's definitely on the hot seat, like a couple other coaches. And only person I'm hearing that they're really looking at is your boy in San Fran, the defensive coordinator out there. His name's popping up.
He ain't going nowhere.
Oh yeah, I'm bringing him. He's about to go. He's about to go somewhere.
He's not going anywhere.
His name keeps popping up. And Cliff Kingsbury's name keep popping up for the Browns. Those names I'm hearing more and more, right? Again, I'm gonna say this too. I think when you become the head coach, you can't be the offensive coordinator. You have to be the head coach. You have to have an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, and you let them do what they do. Now, if you know that if you're going down with your ship like McCarthy did, and he said, a man that's in New Orleans, he's like, yo, he's not gonna be the offensive coordinator anymore because he throws the ball too much. But then you're the head coach, you become the offensive coordinator, and then you throw the ball just as much as he did. Then then we know why you did what you did, because you said, if I'm going down with a ship, I was gonna be on my terms and my terms only. So by Stefanski giving over the OC to Reese, the game plan yesterday was a lot different than it has been before. You know, and again, I just think that sometimes you just can't. You can, even with Sean McVay, you cannot be. I just think that you let things slip through the crack when you're the head coach and you're the defensive coordinator or OC, because you're not looking at everything. You know, and Stefanski, like I said, Stefanski could be the one holding him back. At some point in time, they got to play him. They got to see what they got, because if not, they're going after another quarterback in the draft.
After they just drafted 2 this year.
After they just drafted 2 this year, yep. Which makes no sense to me whatsoever.
The complete mismanagement of a football franchise.
I'm gonna tell you what's funny though. I was in the grocery store on Sunday. I had a Pittsburgh Steelers fan come up to me and say to me, y'all is the most disorganized organization ever heard in my life. Why would y'all trade Flacco to Cincinnati Bengals? This is the Pittsburgh Steelers off. He's like, who does that? I said, the Pittsburgh Steelers off. I said, are you mad? Yeah, I'm mad. I said, get over it. I said, it's just a game. Why you take? I'm like, yo, it is what it is. They got an extra draft. They got another draft pick for it. But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is. It is what it is. Because I guarantee you, if Pittsburgh would have called and asked about him, and they traded him Pittsburgh, the Cincinnati Bengals like, yo, why would you do that? It's just a piss Pittsburgh off. You know what I'm saying? But again, I, I think I think there's a disconnect there. Um, with the coach, the GM, and the owner. And the owner's being really quiet right now, which I'm surprised of. Actually, I don't like the owner because he came from Pittsburgh. Every owner that had a part of Pittsburgh went somewhere else. They flopped. They're terrible.
Okay, when's the last time the
Terrible.
Browns were good?
Huh?
When's the last time the Browns were good? Bernie Kosar?
When it was like consistently good?
Bernie Kosar?
Probably Bernie Kosar.
Yeah, so we're talking
Yeah.
30 years of terrible
But
football. I mean, that wasn't all Pittsburgh.
But the thing
Pittsburgh
about it is
ownership.
though is but the thing about it is by them moving and see this is what a lot of people don't understand. When Jacksonville and Carolina came into the league and they drafted the way they drafted and they became instant they became instant players. If you remember, Jacksonville and Carolina both made it to play. I think they might have made the playoffs in the first year
Second
because the
year.
way they was allowed to pick the way they was allowed to get their players. They came back to the Browns and said, we're not doing that with the Browns. So it was a whole different scenario on how the Browns had to pick players to come to Cleveland. So it was not an instant win for them like it was for Jacksonville and Carolina. So they had to they struggled. They struggled.
They struggled before that.
They still struggled. Well, no, because they before they left to go to Baltimore, they were in the playoffs. They had Belichick was the head coach. They was in the play.
They would have been. They would have had Ray Lewis and all of that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So when he moved the team. He moved the team for money, right? And I'm just saying that to me, one of the original teams should never get moved. Art Modell he still can't go to Cleveland now. If somebody knows he's in Cleveland, he's in trouble.
He's dead. Yeah, the Colts moved in the middle of the night.
Yeah, but the Colts wasn't winning when they moved.
Right.
The Browns were still winning. The Browns were in the playoffs. They was in the playoffs. They were in the playoffs the year the year that they left. They were in the playoffs.
No, you were not. You had a number 4 pick.
The year they left.
You need to check it.
In 1998. Was it 1998 they left?
You had the number 4 pick.
Mm-hmm. You guys were terrible. Y'all had Vinny Testaverde. Or Tim Couch. Wasn't Tim Couch the first quarterback y'all had?
Which was Ray Lewis by trading to the 49ers. You had the number 4 pick was Jonathan Ogden. This is what I tell Ravens fans every time. You are the Cleveland Browns because your pick was from the Cleveland Browns, and Jonathan Ogden and also Ray Lewis were 2 of your cornerstone picks. That was Browns pick.
Let me see here. It was 1998 they moved, right? Because they didn't come back until 2000. It was 2 years.
It was 96 or something. Just look at the last year. Just look at the start of the Baltimore Ravens.
1996.
Yeah.
96 when the Baltimore Ravens were born.
That's pretty bad that I can tell you off the top of my head. And you don't even know you're a Browns fan.
1996. 1996 draft pick: Keyshawn Johnson, Kevin Hardy, Simeon Rice, Jonathan Ogden, Cedric Jones,
Yes,
Lawrence Phillips.
Ravens. That was y'all's pick.
Okay, we won in the league then.
Because you were gone in '96. Your last season was that season. Was the first year of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, y'all came back in '99.
It's a Brown pick. Jonathan Ogden is a Brown pick. Because y'all earned the 4th pick.
Okay, so in '95 draft.
Y'all went 5-11 in '95. Then y'all moved. But y'all were 11-5 in '94.
So I'm looking at 1995 draft. That was the year before they left. They picked 30th.
Yeah, y'all were 11-5 that year. 11-5 in '94 for the '95 draft.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Why are we doing this again?
And then '99, y'all went 2-14, 3-13, 7-9.
And that's when they came. That's when they 2000 was it 2000 they came back in the league.
1999.
Okay. But again, if you go back and read up on how they drafted players, they didn't get the same leisure as Carolina and Jacksonville did. But they've been struggling.
Yeah, because you guys didn't want to say that you're an expansion team. That was the whole problem.
I don't know anything about that. You might have to send that to me. I don't know nothing about them saying they're not an expansion team.
Right.
They weren't an expansion team. Y'all had the leisure of doing the supplemental draft, but y'all weren't an expansion.
They were an expansion team. They were a new team that was added. But they didn't want to be called an expansion team because they wanted to be called the Cleveland Browns instead of the Baltimore Browns.
Well, Art Modell,
he couldn't take.
He didn't own the name, did he?
No, but the
city owned the name and the stadium.
The city's like, yo, the city said you can take the team, but you can't take the name.
Yeah. They own the name.
Because
Baltimore didn't want to be the Baltimore Browns, and I don't blame them. Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to be the Browns anything. Remind you of Pooh.
So get back to the hot seat. Okay. Stefanski, McDonald, Pete Carroll, Zach Taylor. What's interesting though, Curry, is that for Mike Daniels, they're saying that your boy Marcus Freeman might be in consideration. They got Joe Brady as 1, Jeff Huffle as 2. He's a Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator. Hank Frankly from Detroit, OC, offensive line coach. Jesse Minter, Charger defensive coach. Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame head coach, and Todd Mokins from Baltimore OC. That's what they're talking about. And I was reading an article too that Dan Quinn might be on the hot seat as well, which I don't think they need to do that right there.
Where's he at?
Where's he at? Dan Quinn.
He's the coach for the Washington Redskins or Washington Commanders.
Yeah, I'd put him on the hot seat.
I'd put him on the hot seat.
I'd put him on there.
I don't think they're gonna put him on the hot seat.
Why would you put him?
because of what you call it being hurt. So.
Why would you put him on the hot seat?
Why would I?
Why would I?
Yeah.
Because he's a defensive coach and that defense is terrible. Like, you're a defensive coach. We brought you in. You're the head coach. You bring in your offensive guy. That defense.
Okay, so is he calling the play? No, he's getting ready to start calling the plays now. I think he said that he's going to take over as a DC now.
Yeah, because they're terrible. That defense is all bad. I mean, he'd be on my hot seat. He'd be fired.
Hey, Mo, you said he shouldn't be?
I said he shouldn't.
Why you don't think he shouldn't?
Because he's had injuries this year. Terry McLaurin is wide receiver. They should have given him a contract earlier,
All right.
so then he wouldn't have had the hamstring injury.
Okay.
And because his wide receiver was hurt, that's why Jaden Daniels had to hold the ball and run more, which got him hurt.
Okay, but Richard said he's a defensive coordinator. So, how does that apply for the defense not being on point?
They were already ahead of schedule last year. They made the NFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback after
with
winning
no
2
tape.
games with no previous season. You don't get rid of a head coach that you know is really good. No.
Fired.
Okay. All right.
My thing is this.
Go ahead, Rich.
I mean, you lost your quarterback. Okay, cool. You lost your number one option. Okay, cool. San Francisco lost both of those things. And they have a winning record. And they lost their two best defensive players. And they have a winning record. Dan Quinn and every coach should be fired.
Ooh.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no next man up. That's what they say, and that's all that San Fran has done this season is next man up. 6-4.
I gotta agree with you on that right there. They definitely playing good football. College football guys, check this out. If I say, I want to say that. I hope I say this guy's name correctly. John Mateer, Mateer. Do anybody know who he is?
Never heard of him.
Anybody else? Anybody ever heard of him? Oklahoma Sooners quarterback making $3 million NIL.
Wow.
Yeah, transferred to Oklahoma this year.
Bryce Underwood. Anybody hear of him?
Yes.
No. Yes. Don't know him.
Quarterback for Michigan Wolverines making $3 million NIL.
Mm-hmm.
Cade is it Kublik?
Never heard.
Klubnik. Anybody hear of him?
Mm-mm.
No, who he is. He's quarterback for Clemson Tigers, making $3.1 million.
Oh yeah, he transferred from I know him.
Drew Allen, quarterback. Anybody hear of him?
Drew Aller, not Allen.
Whatever. I don't know.
Oh, Aller from South Carolina.
You're a quarterback from Penn State.
He making $3.2 million. DJ Lagway.
Oh, that's Penn State. Yeah, he's trash.
Anybody know who? You ever hear him?
Who?
DJ Lagway. Lagway.
Lagway. Are you talking about the coach for?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought you were talking about the quarterback for UCLA.
Mm. And you ever hear him? Quarterback Florida Gators making $3.4 million.
Wow.
Lenore Sellers. Anybody hear of him?
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Quarterback South Carolina making $3.8 million. If
They
we all
making
know who
NFL running
LSU,
back money.
Garrett Newsmeyer, quarterback for LSU, making $4 million. Anybody hear of Jeremy Smith?
No.
Wide receiver for Ohio State.
Yep, making $4.2 million. Carson Beck, hear him. Quarterback for Miami Hurricanes, making $4.7 million.
Oh yeah.
Arch Manning, quarterback for the Texas Longhorns, making $6.3 million.
Yeah.
Only person that's in the playoffs in that whole list is a wide receiver from Ohio State. These guys are making $3 million or more NIL money, and not gonna make the playoffs. Only one of them. And Jeremy Smith, I think he's in the Heisman running, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Mo?
Yeah.
I think he could be in the Heisman. He could be in the Heisman chase. But man, look.
The kid from Indiana almost is winning it though.
Yeah, especially after that win against Penn State this weekend. I wanted Indiana to win because I want Indiana to stay right there where he at. Right there. Stay right there where he at. I might not even have a college team. I might just be a free agent and just talk about everybody. Just talk about everybody. But I just go to show you how much money these guys are making. Arch Manning making $6.3 million, who probably will be back in college football next year.
And he should be.
This is money they spending on these quarterbacks. Mad crazy loop. Mad crazy loop. So I think that we pretty much
Arch Manning got his money on nepotism.
So right now, if the playoffs were to start, BYU would be the 12th team. BYU, Oklahoma, Texas, Notre Dame, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss, right. Georgia, Alabama, Texas A&M, Indiana, Ohio State. So there's a team that's called the nickname is called Mean Green, North Texas. Watch this team get in the playoffs. At large bid.
That's how Mean Joe got his name, right?
I think they're undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're undefeated. But they're not listed they're not nowhere in the top 25. I try to find them in the top. I went completely down. Couldn't find them nowhere. But then I read up on them. Oh, excuse me. I went out to the standings and found them out there. I forgot where they're at. They're in
8-1.
Where they at? Oh shucks.
AAC.
They're in AAC. Is it AAC? Yeah. They're 8-1 right now, predicting to win the AAC. So I'm kind of confused. So the AAC. Okay, that one's the ACC and the AAC. So I don't know if they have a championship tournament for those guys right there, but they could get in there at 8-1. Just watch out for that team, guys. It's gonna be really different. It's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna see. I hope. I know they want to go to 16 teams, but they can't. I don't want to see 16 teams. Because if they do 16 teams, then you're gonna get at least two to three teams in their playoff with 3 losses. And then they're not gonna change the schedule. They're gonna still play them cupcake teams. That's gonna get them in there.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
If they didn't change the way that they scheduled the games, then it's not. There's no point.
Yeah, I don't want 16. 12. I think 12 is enough. You know.
Enough.
Because if you think about it, like I'm gonna say this, if you think about it for real, the only team that has a lot, the only team that has a lot to lose will be Notre. If Notre Dame loses another game, they're gonna push them out of there. They're gonna push them. They're gonna be probably 13, 14. So if they're gonna lose a game, it need to be an early game and not the last game of the season because now they got Pitt this weekend. That's at Pitt. That should be a good game. They got Syracuse. And they should be able to beat Stanford. Yeah. If they get past Pitt, then they should be all right. But again,
Pittsburgh's pretty tough this year, though.
Yeah, they are very tough. They're very tough.
So they put Memphis over North Texas. And they're in the same conference.
Right. Do that make sense?
It does not.
Don't make sense at all. I was looking at that too. Real quick, guys, before we go on. What I'm gonna do this first. I'm gonna say, what team just confuses the devil out of you in the AFC and NFC? For me, in the AFC, it's the Chargers. I don't know what Charger team you're gonna get from week to week. I don't know if you're gonna get the one that beat Pittsburgh last weekend, or you're gonna get the one that lost to whoever the week before that. I don't know. That's to me. The other team is the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know, what team do you get, man. I don't get it. 1 week they're up here, the next week they're down. I don't get that. Rich, what two teams you have?
I got two better teams.
Go ahead, Mo. Go ahead, Mo. Who's your teams?
Two teams that played each other. The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. How in the world did they just switch this week? Buffalo just beat Kansas City and now loses to Miami. Miami got blown out by Baltimore and then blows out Buffalo.
Okay.
I don't understand it.
All right.
I totally understand
what you're saying. Though, it's got to be the Falcons. I agree with you.
Okay. Rich, what you got?
NFC. The Falcons definitely hold the trophy for most confusing. I don't get it. And in the AFC, I'm gonna be honest, and they are a winning team. They have an 8-2 record. But from week to week, I do not know what they are going to do.
Denver Broncos.
And that is the Denver Broncos. Man, I just don't know.
Curry, who you
talking about? Green Bay.
Curry, who you got? They have you scratching your head every week. Who you got, Curry?
In the AFC, it's got to be my boys, the Dolphins. I mean, they go into Cleveland, a team that they should have just beat and just get blowed out. They go into Atlanta and blow out the Falcons. And then you come in and you go up against Buffalo, and Buffalo's a 2-touchdown favorite, and just blow Buffalo out. So, I mean, I don't know. You don't know. Like Mo said, they didn't even look competitive against the Ravens. So you don't know what you're going to get with that team. But one thing I'll say, obviously they have not given up on their coach. They're still willing to play. But in the NFC, the team that has me scratching my head is the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
The Carolina Panthers, they had pretty much undefeated at home until they lost to Buffalo, blew them out. Then they turn around and go into Green Bay, Lambeau Field, and beat them. Rico Dowdle running all over everybody. And then they played the lowly Saints yesterday. And all Rico Dowdle could come up with on 18 carries for 53 yards. So that'd be my Carolina Panthers in the NFC.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
We still got Lou. Lou, who you got? Who do you think is the most that's make you scratch your head the most?
Well, I think I'd say for the AFC, I think of the Steelers. They're really confusing me. You know,
Okay.
they're very consistent, and it really you gave me like, well, are they going to win? Are they going to not? Are they going to do, holding off the fourth come back and they get slaughtered? They're really making my head spin. And I think for the NFC, yeah, I got to go with the Dirty Birds. Diamond talking.
Okay. We got a little bit more time left. We can do this. So the NBA right now is man, the NBA
Yeah,
is
let me ask Mo a question real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Mo, what you want to know about Aaron Rodgers? You still sipping that Kool-Aid? I just want to know. How did I know you were going to Kool-Aid Aaron Rodgers? No, that's crazy, man. I just want to. You know, one game, you done lost 3 out of your last 4. How's that one game? This was the one game that was on Aaron Rodgers. The other games were not. Most of the other ones were on the defense. But he's supposed to be your savior, though. He was never supposed to be the savior. The defense was supposed to be the savior. You're right, because he's not going to save Tomlin's job at the rate he's going. Tomlin is going to always go 9-8. It sucks. I thought we were going to go 12-5 this year, but oh well.
we told you that wasn't going to happen.
But honestly, now you still believing in A-Ron? Oh, yeah. A-Ron's going to play well in Cincinnati next week. Because first of all, Cincinnati. But second of all, he's going to come out and he's going to throw 4 touchdown passes next week. Man, I don't know if you know or not, but Aaron Rodgers just don't seem to have the foot movement that he wants, and he don't get around in that pocket like he once did. And he made a boneheaded play last night when he ran back into the end zone with the safety. Yeah.
So that was crazy.
Veterans don't do that. You know you can't run back into the end zone.
I think he was scared to get hit.
Yeah, but
and got
I
hit.
think he just getting old, and but moving right along.
NBA. Pistons have won 6 in a row. They're 8-2 in the last 10. They're 8-2 right now. Cavaliers are 7-3. The Knicks are 6-3. The Bulls are 6-3. The Miami Heat are 6-4. The Bucks are 6-4. The Sixers are 6-4. Man, scoring is bananas, man. I don't think nobody's averaging under 110 points right now. I think everybody's averaging a little bit more. The Pacers might be the only one. They average 107. Out west, you got Oklahoma City is 10-1, Spurs 7-2, Nuggets 7-2, Lakers, Houston Rockets, T-Wolves, Portland, Warriors, Phoenix, and Memphis. Speaking of Memphis, John Morant. I just read the article. I cannot think. Rich, where did they say that he was going?
He said he wants to come to Chicago. He don't play no defense.
Oh my goodness, where did they say that he's going to end up going?
Chicago.
Oh.
It came out of his mouth.
He might have said that, but you got to give up a lot to get it.
No, we don't, because we ain't giving up nothing.
I ain't messing with that chemistry right now. I ain't messing that chemistry up there. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm Memphis, I'm shipping him to Pelicans.
No.
Okay. No. Yeah. I gotta get something back in return for him, because when he's gone, he's gone. You know what I'm saying? You want to ideally send him to the west. You want to ideally send him to the east, but where do you want to? I mean, Charlotte, Brooklyn. What can you get back for him is the key to where he goes. Just because he wants to go to Chicago, we're not gonna send him to Chicago because we may not get what we want to get for him.
I mean, you could almost go head up with Atlanta. Trae Young wants out.
And
John Morant wants
Trey
out.
wants out. Trey wants out of Atlanta.
Trey wants out of Atlanta. He said that last year.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. They 5-5 right now. And they got Porzingis. That's what they want. They supposed to be one of the top tier teams. I gotta say this about New England about New Orleans Pelicans. Why is Zion Williams is stealing so much money from the team? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
They refuse to trade him. Is he should be still on his rookie deal though?
I blame all of this on the
Duke.
No on the trade for Anthony Davis going to the
Mavericks.
Going to the Lakers, because he wasn't supposed to be a Pelican. He was supposed to be a Knick. But this dude, he's making $39 million right now. 26, 27, he makes 42. 27, 28, they make 48. He finagled them out of a new contract like Ben Simmons did with the Sixers. It's simple as that. I would have let Zion Williams, I'll let him walk. If you want to go to New York, go to New York. But how can you not play the first game of the season? How can you not be in shape the first game of the season? You in street clothes. Come on, man.
He don't want to play in New Orleans. He never did.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He never wanted to be in New Orleans, and the only way that happened was because the Lakers got that funky draft pick to send Anthony Davis out to LA, and with that draft pick, and that's how it all went down. Zion's supposed to be a New York Knick. Period.
I'm blaming New Orleans for this. Because when they drafted him, knowing that he did not want to play there,
they should have
moved him.
They should have traded
Draft
him.
night. They should have moved him.
They should have traded. He told him he didn't want to be there. They should have traded him. Simple as that. But now they signed to a new contract like Ben Simmons did with the Sixers. Yo, he gonna find himself out the league, man. I'm telling you right now. He gonna find himself out the league.
He's not gonna find himself out the league.
I'm telling you right now, yo, his work ethic is terrible, man.
I understand.
Now he may go somewhere else and it may change because he's maybe with a team that's winning, but he can't be he definitely is not there. He's not the superstar that everybody wants him to be. He could be a role player in a team. He can't be the main cog. And if he goes to New York, he's part of the team. He's not going to be the superstar.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zion ended up in LA.
The Lakers?
Once LeBron is gone, they're going to need something. They got the money. They're going to have the money for it.
Man, they bring. If he go out to LA, I'm telling you right, he's another one. He can't go where stardom is because he can't handle it. I mean, he's in New Orleans right now. They don't get a lot of publicity, but how can you not be in shape at the beginning of the season? That's
because he don't want to play there.
Then they need to get rid of him. They need to trade him. They need to trade him. It ain't fair to the fans down there at all. He needs to be traded. Send him. I'm like, okay, where do you want to go?
Charlotte.
And I was like, okay, this is what I'm sending you. I'm sending you to Charlotte. You could be the face of the Charlotte Hornets. And if you want to be there, then I don't know what to tell you.
Oh no, LaMelo Ball's the face of Charlotte.
Real quick before we end the show, I was reading a contract with. I don't know if you guys know this now. I was reading a contract with Michael Parsons, right?
Oh yeah.
The Packers can't trade him to the Eagles because they'll lose money or they'll lose some drafts. I can't remember the whole scenario. I read a blip of it.
Yeah.
Yo, this is crazy. Dallas said, yo, you can't trade him to the Eagles. because you lose. There's something in the contract that they'll lose. They call it a poison pill, Mo. And if you look it
Yeah.
up, it'll tell you exactly what it is. I'm like, this is crazy. This is bananas. But this, hey, Dallas knew what they were doing when they got rid of him. I mean, not they knew that they didn't want him to come back and haunt them in the division. You know what I'm saying? But that was crazy. That is called a poison pill. All right, guys, we're like 2:15 in. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We should be on every Monday night from
Hey,
now on.
one last thing I want to say.
Go ahead, Curry.
I'm sorry I didn't get this sooner, but he saw Zion Williams. He says in his 6 years, he's missed 268 games.
Wow. Wow.
Man. Hey, maybe a little load management.
He's going. Who's that? You say Kyle Williams? I mean, who did you say?
Zion Williams.
Zion Williams. That does not surprise me none. That does not surprise me, man. That's crazy.
He missed 268 games in 6 years.
That does not surprise me at all. I'm telling you, he gonna find himself out the league. If he doesn't turn it around, he gonna find himself out the league. All right, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Again, like I said, we should be on Monday nights. From now on. I am coaching girls basketball, but I have Mondays off so that I can do the show. Because I promised you guys I would do that, and I can fulfill both. I can multitask. So with that being said, guys, I mean I appreciate you guys hanging out with me again. Say prayers for the Wilkins family. Say prayers for Dana. I don't know if Dana had I don't think he inboxed us said anything about if he's gonna be on the show or not tonight. But I did get a bunch of inboxes about why I didn't go live. I don't know why I didn't go live. It said something about my internet, and I'm on the internet right now, so I don't know what's going on with my phone. So, but with that being said, man, I appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight. You guys have a good night. Enjoy. Oh, happy birthday to the Marine Corps. Today is Marine Corps birthday. Happy 250th birthday, the Marine Corps. Hoorah, Devil Dog. If you're a Devil Dog, happy birthday. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. If you're a veteran, go get your meal wherever you're gonna get your meal at. My meal is gonna be at home. I'm gonna cook my meal at home. I'm not going out. It's gonna be too cold tomorrow. It's just gonna be too cold.
Put your picture up on his Facebook yet?
I think he said it's there.
Yeah, it's up there.
But that's by far I'm a bet. In Mo, if Shador,
should I send you $1 by Cash App?
Hey, Mo, if Shador is starting against the Pittsburgh Steelers, we can make that bet too.
Oh, now we'll eventually run it back, Mo.
That's hilarious. That's everything you need to know right there.
All right, guys, man. Y'all have a good night, man. God bless y'all. And be safe.
You too.
All right, peace. All right.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.